Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. Grab a seat, grab a tea, get extra comfy. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Yuki Boobuki, princess of all things spooky and extremely ooky. But the only thing scary about me is how I managed to turn a 30-minute video. It's not a 30-minute, hour-long video into three 30-minute videos. That would be correct. That would be correct. We are still watching the entire story of Lobotomy Corporation, and this has been a trip. This has been wild. This has been an adventure. I hope that you guys like the other videos, and I hope by the time this video makes it out, I will have played it. If you guys enjoyed it, I hope so. Yeah. I don't remember where I was in the intro, but I'm going to assume that I did a proper intro and all of you applauded and clapped and were like, yippee! And we're all good and stuff. I had to get up. But yeah, welcome on in. We're still part 3 of the video of lore that blows my mind. Let's get right into the video. I say is the model app crashed. Corner. Play.
I mean, everyone else on the team dying didn't stop him. Why would his own death change anything? As more and more abnormalities are secured, contained, and protected in the facility, and by that I mean people being horrifically injected with Kagado to create artificial monstrosities bent on ending human life, more and more power is directed to the Seat of Light. The only piece left is the human aspect. Everyone here needs to suffer. And that everyone includes you. Welcome to the worst part of the game. As the Sephiroth begin to realize who you are, what exactly you did to them, and what they've done to a bunch of innocent people, they become a little upset. In fact, they're so upset by this information that it actively warps their bodies and the facility itself. This is a Sapphira meltdown, and you've got to deal with it. In the game, these act as essentially boss fights, imposing difficult conditions on top of your already deadly facility, only ending once you've suppressed their core by
Ooh. So, through all of this learning, yes, I'm huge in lore. Yes, I'm huge in story. Yes, I care a lot about, plot. Plot. My biggest fear is that what if this game too hard and I can't do it? Because I don't think this is really for the faint of heart. It's going to be like a Souls level survival experience. Game speeds up. No, I don't do good under timed things either. So this will be interesting to say the least. But I kind of look forward to giving it a shot. What if they have balance patching?
filling a list of objectives. And if you want me to be honest with you, they're not very fun. But that's okay, because I can just use rotating PNGs to describe what's happening in each one instead of replaying the most absurd difficulty spike known to man. Let's go over what each Sapphira is traumatized by, how they get over it, and what they find within themselves as a result. Malkuth was never very good at anything. As passionate as Elijah was, and as organized as she tried to be, she was reckless in her attempts to prove herself, to say the least. Aya never praised her for the work she tried to do, and she carries that resentment still, actively hoping to see X fail. She no longer believes that anything can be done to help the world, or even this facility, but after suppressing her core, she at least wants to see what happens. She realizes that she should have been more patient in life, and that it's okay to not be able to do some things on her own. But she really still needed head pats. In the end, she gains the will to stand up straight. Yesod was absolutely traumatized by the death of Elijah, and that fear of chemical exposure mixed with his unyielding obsession is what led to his death. Ian did his best to help by restraining Gabriel and ensuring he wasn't infected by anything, but his body still died to his own actions, and Yesod hates that. Ian could only see the physical wounds, and ignored the issues that Gabriel was actively going through. Once his core is suppressed, he realizes that he can't go back and change anything, and while he still hates Ian for not seeing the signs of Gabriel's imminent death, He accepts now that he has all the time in the world to move past that, and sees that
That is true. What it sounds like he went through a lot more psychological spooky ooky booky. Maybe you should have gave that man his Xanax.
X is doing the same. He gains the rationality to maintain discretion. Hod thought that the only way to prevent more of her friends from dying was to report Ian's work to the head. Michelle didn't want to betray her friends, but saw it as the only right thing to do. This, of course, inadvertently killed the rest of her friends and employees, and now that she's trapped in an eternal hell with them, is acting the nicest she possibly can in order to make up for what she did, faking these emotions in order to gain forgiveness and absolve her past. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, and once her core is suppressed, she realizes that there's no way to erase her mistake. She really did kill her friends, even if it was by accident. But she also realizes that she truly cares for all of them, and even for her employees, deciding to continue showing her kindness even if the others can never forgive her. She gains the hope to be a better person. Nedzak fucking hates it here. He didn't want to do his job in the first place, and Giovanni only joined the team to be by Carmen's side. He hates Ian for lying to him about being able to save Carmen, and absolutely despises the fact he's now forced to do work as a Sapphira. He sees no hope in the future, and desperately is trying to commit toaster bath. Or maybe just a regular bath since he's a robot now? Unfortunately, Sapphira need permission to die, so he can't even escape. Once his core is suppressed, he realizes that Ian couldn't have saved him from the Kagado experiments, and only lied about being able to save Carmen because he wanted to keep Giovanni's dream alive until the very end. He still hates this whole situation, but decides to no longer target the bathtub because they might be able to make real change in the world. He gains the fearlessness to keep on living. Tifereth A and B have a shared meltdown, with Lisa blaming Ian and Carmen for Enoch's death at the original facility, and now being forced to watch her brother suffer and be reset endlessly in their new bodies. For their core suppression, X truly destroys Tifereth B, finally ending the horrific cycle that Enoch was trapped in. Lisa admits that she only ever wanted to impress her brother, but was unable to make any progress because she was completely crushed every time Tifereth B reappeared, knowing that he would never go back to his original self. She accepts that his death is for the best now, allowing him to finally rest in peace and that there's a reason for every sacrifice. She gains the expectation of the meaning of existence. In contrast to this complex relationship we've just gone over, Gebra's meltdown is very simple. Kali grew up in the backstreets and became a legendary fixer there, protecting the weak from abnormalities that roamed the area. She joined Carmen in order to protect the research team because she truly believed that the Seed of Light would make the world a better place. But she failed. Even the Red Mist fell before Garion. Unable to protect her friends, even if she massacred abnormalities and claws alike in the attempt. And she's fucking pissed! Because of the mind wipe, Gebra doesn't know why she hates abnormalities, only that her singular purpose is to completely destroy them. When she remembers what these creatures did in the past, she decides it's time to bring down the whole facility. For this suppression, you need to defeat the Red Mist. Good luck. Once her core is suppressed, she remembers that she didn't mindlessly kill everything that moved. She had a purpose before, and becomes the same protector that she chose to be back then. She gains the courage to protect. Chesed is a goddamn coward, but I love him. Coming from the elite of society and...
What does that say?
Chesed is a goddamn coward, but I love him.
My beloved.
Coming from the elite of society, and Daniel never faced much hardship before joining the research team, but he was always willing to work to push forward and continue the research they were striving to complete. Except for when his life was at risk. He's haunted by the fact he gave in to Garion's demands in the facility, and now is ashamed he's willingly become a pawn to X and Angela in the same way, forced to watch his employees die every day. Bars. His meltdown is his own little rebellion, finally standing up to those that would coerce him into doing things he regrets. Once his core is suppressed, he realizes that Honestly, it's probably okay that he was scared of the literal strongest being in this entire video pointing the equivalent of a nuclear bomb at his back, and that while he may not be able to fight against the fear he faces, he won't run away anymore so he
I
can become
mean,
one of.
let's be so very for real. You got a guy like, I will kill you. You do not open that door. You're probably gonna open the door. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit because I realize I'm leaning to the side.
Those who are faithful and trustworthy. Binna is not happy. Her trauma is also incredibly simple. She fucking hates you. Garion was just doing her job, enjoying the suffering of others, and then along comes Ian with his color fixer lapdog. She was incapacitated, tortured for information, and now is being forced to work for the very person that ended her life. Also, Ian designed her to be the only Sephiroth unable to go insane, and then put her in charge of extracting abnormalities from people. This was not very fun to watch, and Ian specifically did this as a form of torture since she was the one that killed most of his friends. But more than that, the reason Garion was so dead set on destroying Ian's original facility in the first place was because she didn't believe the cycle of destruction in the city could be broken. Wings would be
Yeah.
rebuilt, and the resistance that Carmen and Ian brought against the head would soon be forgotten. Calling Binna's ordeal a meltdown isn't entirely correct. She's entirely in control of herself, unlike the others. She just wants to see X crumble, and finally has the opportunity to do so. Hey, do you remember at the start of the class when I said that you should come back once you need to fight the Arbiter? This is the Arbiter fight, and this time, you don't have the red mist to save you. This is the hardest fight in the game, and I'm not the one undergoing a meltdown, so I'm going to choose to skip past it instead of confronting my past and growing as a person. Once her core is suppressed, Binna finally sees that X is truly capable. While she doesn't think anything will actually change in the city, she also knows that doing nothing at all wouldn't change a thing, and chooses to stand by
I don't
your
know if
side
doing
in
this
order
is
to
the right
witness
answer,
every
though.
step of the process, no matter how hopeless or painful. I have no idea how Ian managed to sway the heart of an Arbiter, but Binna becomes the eye facing the fear, breaking the cycle, as well as one of the coolest characters in the series. Finally, we have 𝎟ᓝ📼. Benjamin always cared for Ian, no matter what.
Alright, sorry for getting up so much this video. Fox Dad has the flu part 2. He's very sicky. So I'm bopping up and down.
Even being shoved into this robot body isn't enough to make him hate X. The problem is that he cares too much. Even though Benjamin wants their research to succeed, he knows everyone's time together is coming to an end, and can't bear the thought of losing his friends a second time. He could never move on, and now he's going to do his best to convince you to stop in place as well. Once his core is suppressed, he realizes that X needs to move on. That even though he'll lose his friends forever, this was their goal from the start, and it would be selfish of him to keep everyone from fulfilling their dreams just so that he can remain by their side a bit longer. He accepts that it's finally time to give everyone their proper end, and becomes the eye embracing the past, building the future.
A lot of words.
Each time the Sapphira confront and overcome their past, that tiny seed of light grows just a bit. Throughout the conversations with each of your former friends, you realize that Ian designed the script to end with each of them being able to move on. He wanted what was best for everyone, even if he did horrific things in order to achieve that. With the seed of light nearly ready, there's only one person left who needs to overcome their past, and you're playing as him. Days 46 through 49 of the loop are focused on Ian's past, and X needs to overcome the 3 manifestations of his guilt in order to complete the project. Each day, he confronts a different part of himself. Abel tries to convince him that all of his sacrifices are for nothing, but X is able to show the changes his work has made, how everyone can learn and grow as a person. Abram tries to argue that everyone's dreams relied on Carmen, and we're unable to achieve the goal she hopelessly reached for. But X has proof that her dream is becoming a reality, and Carmen is still pivotal to it, no matter what form she's in. Finally, Adam makes his appearance. He is the final and most convincing perversion of Ian's mind, stating that because abnormalities are manifested by human dreams and desires, They are the truest versions of humanity. That everyone should become the twisted abominations that X seeks to contain. But once again, X denies this, knowing that the truest humans are those who are able to face their fear and build the future. Hey, look at that, it's the tagline for the game, isn't that neat? Finally,
Hey, look at
it's
that.
time for the 50th day, the last day of the loop. X is finally confronted by the truest version of himself. Ian, who is filled with regret. Ian, who is filled with hatred. Ian, who never believed he was fit to continue Carmen's dream. And now, X, who is able to push through it all.
Bub. He won't jump up.
Every
Hey, buddy.
person has their own light, but your goal was just to sow the seeds so that everyone can bloom on their own. You won't get to see how that forest grows. You knew it from the start. Ian, X, their story is already over. The only thing left to do is something they've done countless times. It's time to manage the abnormalities. This will be their final day as manager.
What?
As the final bits of 𝑓𝑟𝑛𝑘efallen are gathering, the facility rises to the surface. A great beam of light, a fully blossomed pillar, bursts from the rooftop, enveloping the city in its beautiful glow. This event later became known as the White Nights, as every bit of darkness in the city was lit up. The hearts of the people began to soften and care for the others near them. Their work finally complete, Ian and Carmen are both consumed in the light, becoming a part of every person and helping them to achieve their dreams. The process may not be instant, but they've granted the city a chance to grow. A chance to change for the better.
My
The
gosh, wait, a
Sephiroth
happy
can finally rest as well. They'll
ending?
be deactivated now that their work is done. And Lobotomy Corporation will be sealed away forever, its purpose completed at last.
I don't believe that.
But aren't you forgetting someone? Hasn't everyone forgotten someone? My duties are finally finished, which means I get to choose for myself. For the first time in my entire existence, it's my turn to choose. And I want to live.
Ian's
Yeah, why
plan
don't she get
was
to live?
perfect. It accounted for everything.
But
now, the plan is complete. So who could have seen Angela's betrayal coming? She was the greatest after all. The perfect being, the most skilled worker, forced to suffer through 1,000 loops of watching everyone
1,000.
die. Forced to push her employees to the point of madness an uncountable number of times, resetting the loop if anyone had a single happy moment, all perceived 100 times slower. This was her hell. An eternity of pain, all remembered with perfect clarity. She lived this life for 1,000,000 years. And the one that forced her into it, the one who forced human emotions onto her without granting her the ability to act on her own, Ian, her creator who couldn't even bring himself to look at her.
That's messed up! Another get up. Okay. So, honest and truthfully, I hate that dude. Ian, whatever, I hate him. I don't care if he goes through like I'm better, I'm smart, I've improved. No. Why you gonna do that to this lady? You didn't fix things with her, did you? You just left it frowning. Hey
Who
him.
never thought of her, who never accepted her. Angela was created using Carmen's mind. A human, and all humans, want to live. Angela stole the light. The goal of the project was to shine it over the city for a full week, but instead it disappeared after only 3 days. The White Nights came to an end, being replaced by the Dark Days. Angela had just willingly caused the greatest tragedy in the history of the city. Imagine leading the most miserable life you possibly could, constantly at your wit's end and fearing for your life. Then, for the first time, a
You feel
beautiful
something.
golden glow warms your entire being. You feel like you could do anything, accomplish all of your dreams, and
Ooh.
know that the future is bright. Only for that to be taken from you in just 3 days. Everything was a million times worse. The people, now familiar with the feeling of hope, were left in a state entirely void of it. But far worse is the fact that the light granted them the power that they so desired. With the light in her grasp, Angela would learn everything in the city, the people, the abnormalities, even the head. She would organize it all. She would sort what she learned in the form of books, and once she learned enough, she would have the knowledge to become human herself, and finally venture out into the world she wanted so badly to experience, with the one perfect book.
Let us record the world piece by piece, at the side of all those who are abandoned. Yes, let us record it here. The library.
Huh. 𝎟᎟𓟟.
Oh, looks like that's all the time we have for today's lesson. I'll see you all soon during our next class. Don't worry, I'll explain what all that foreshadowing was with Carmen being the villain soon and answer all kinds of other questions I brought up here. But before we go, does
No, you can
anyone
do that
have
to
any
me.
other questions? Ah, you know what? That's fair.
No, what do you mean? Wait, what is... Okay, I think it's just Patreon names and junk. Okay, that is a lot to unpack. That is a lot to deal with, except cool, great, awesome. Gosh, I've recorded all of this in one sitting, basically, even though for you it would be broken up with different intros, outros, and it will be pushed out over the weeks. Please like it. Please like it. This Yuki, when you see her, will know. But current Yuki, Yukiception. The week that this gets posted will be the Yuki who knows. But currently, the one recording is the Yuki in the unknown. When the two Yukis collide, there will be Yukiception, and you guys will have either seen the stream of me doing it, or have me cry on stream that nobody watches video. Whichever happens first. God bless you guys, and thank you so much. That was amazing. That was brilliant. That is peak. That I was so immersed. Kudos to the bean who made the video. No, my tabs. 8-bit hypocrite. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, SCP Boogaloo. Wait. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you guys enjoy the journeys that we are going on. I hope that you enjoy the reacts and the yaps and all that stuff. I can't possibly thank you all enough for being here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Bookie bookie boo. Bye.